All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to go ahead and begin some discussion around the new patches coming up for Summoner's War. There's been some speculation around what the new patch is going to offer. We know that the patch is going to roll out in the beginning of the month, December. We don't know when, there's no official date yet. Some people are saying December 1st, some people are saying the end of December. All that we know is it's coming out sometime next month, if I remember correctly, in the actual developer's note. So there are actually three things that are going to be introduced, if you will, from the patch. We have two new contents being released, and then one, I guess, experience, you can call it, if you will. Anyway, these three things. So the first two things, the content, we have raids. Now, raids are pretty cool because the raids... Uh-oh. Hold that thought. Did I lose Guardian? Son of a bitch. I lost Guardian, motherfucker. And I lost my defense success rate, 28%. Alright, let's roll that out after. We'll go and get Guardian back. It's kind of fucked up. Okay. So we have raids coming out. Now, raids are going to be pretty cool because they're going to introduce a couple things. It is going to be some kind of dragon that's going to have 3 heads, and it's going to allow players to work together to fight this dragon. This is the photo, right? This real-time raid means that each player is going to be able to use 6 monsters, and we're going to be working in teams of 3, which actually brings in the second part of the second thing that the game is going to introduce, which is what I think is a new introduction. Now, we talk about team playing as a strategy we only really use in Guild Wars. Guild Wars is probably our first introduction to team strategy and team playing. You know, working together cohesively as one unit for a common purpose. Now, the thing about that is you can't really say we have a lot of team playing in guilds because you're going to have those people who don't really need a team because, like, you got your LeBron James. I mean, if you have 36-star monsters and you're in a farming guild, chances are, you know, you're going to win all 3 of your fights and you're going to knock the enemy's HP down 10% all by yourself, as opposed to, you know, 5 guys on your guild with 1 6-star monster each are going to be able to contribute. That's a lot less than 10%, you know, with 5 people. So with that being said, I think this is going to be really cool to introduce that whole new element to the game of our monsters working together and bringing us together. And that's going to be pretty cool, man, because I honestly don't plan on doing these raids with anybody other than my guildmates. So it's going to be pretty cool to bond with my guildies even more. And I'm going to probably see when it rolls out if there's a way to do it, like on you know, on PlayStation when you're playing Grand Theft Auto, you can open up your party and you can chat. Well, if this is real time, I'm hoping there's some way we can do that. Now, that's probably wishful thinking, but fuck it. I used to think Summoners Wars updates altogether wishful thinking, and they're beginning to introduce some pretty cool content. So that's the real-time raids, right? I think we're going to have to face one head at a time, and it says here each head is going to have a separate attack bar, and the front player is going to be fighting them one-on-one. So if I understand that correctly, that means you're going to have 3 people. 3 people will have 6 monsters each, so that's 18 monsters against this one dragon, and each player is going to be responsible for 1 head. I don't really know what that means just yet towards the end of the battle because they aren't really explaining what happens then if one player beats 1 head and then one player loses to that head. If he loses all 6 monsters, does that mean that one of the other 2 players have to rotate to that 3rd head? So basically, am I now responsible for 2 heads instead of 1? That's kind of weird, actually, but that's an interesting question that pops up. Also, interestingly, if party members will be sharing leader skills. I'm not sure how I feel about that because that really means that we're going to need general leader skills instead of specific ones. You know, I really, really love my Chimera leader skill because I have a very good water base between Ariel, Camilla, and Tor. I love my 50% HP water buff. I use it everywhere. But I don't see how that's going to work now in a real-time raid when I now have, you know, 18 monsters to worry about. You know, that's kind of not fair. So it looks like Veramos is going to be pretty useful now, even more so than ever because he's going to have his 33% HP general buff. And in case you guys don't know this, those buffs are not max HP related. When it says 33% HP, we're talking base health, which is not actually that much when you think about it. Because let's say Verimos general base HP, I believe, is around 11,000. Might be wrong on my math. We can check in a second. That's what 33,500 plus HP for him. I mean, that's not a lot, you know. When a very well runed Veramos with 200 speed and 25k HP. I mean, my tour is hitting 45,000, you know, HP. I don't know, wishful thinking again. Whoops, what did I press? All right. Ranting a little bit. Unlike other battles in the game, the raid battles fought in a special formation which can be divided into two lines: attackers, damage dealers, supporters. Yeah, I was actually talking to one of my guild buddies, Dingle, about this. My plan is actually going to be, and I know I'm doing a lot more anticipating than reacting because it's not even rolled out yet, but my plan is actually going to be two attackers, two healers, and two buffers slash debuffers. So I'm probably thinking Chasun and Bella. And then I'm thinking Galleon and a nuker. Galleon as a debuffer and maybe Chiwu as a second debuffer, depending on what kind of buffs the dragon's going to get, which right now it doesn't look like he's going to get a lot of buffs, so maybe not Chiwu. But I'm definitely going to want someone. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. I'm noticing I see Chloe here, which is going to be pretty interesting here. That they brought a Chloe to this fight. There's going to be a reason for that. And then that 18. That looks like some kind of counter. So I don't know what that is going to be just yet. I hope that's not going to be some bullshit like Fire Monkey King. Every time he gets attacked, his attack power goes up. I mean, for God's sakes, guys, I still have not beaten Necro 10, and I consider myself a Guardian. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. You know, I hate it. I mean, on that side note, who wants to spend 20 minutes on one fucking run for a rune? And on that note, let's talk about rune enchantments. Now, there is a lot of speculation around what rune enchantments are going to open up. So first of all, let me clarify something. Rune enchantments are going to be entirely based on your success in these raids. Because you get two things in these raids. You get gems and you get grindstones. And these are only used to alter your sub-properties on runes. Now, you are not able to actually swap rune subs. You're only able to alter them. So you cannot take a sub from one violent rune and add it to another. That would destroy the meta, which a lot of people thought at one point. Somebody had explained that to me. We ended up being wrong. That's not the case. What you can do is you can alter a flat HP on your perfect drone. Like my Camilla's slot 4 rather, is a 5-star crit damage max drone, right? I never won 6-star because I have like a plus 17 crit rate sub, a plus 11% HP sub, I think a plus 15% defense sub, and then a flat attack sub. Now I'll be able to take that flat attack sub, use a grindstone which comes in a level between normal up to legend, and then with that I can change it into a percent. And then based on the status of that gem, it will determine the valuation of it. Meaning you use one of these enchantments to change it from that flat to a percent, and then you use another one another gem to determine the strength that it becomes. So it doesn't mean if you had a rune, it's plus 12. By the way, on that note, all runes have to be plus 12, says it right here. Now, that doesn't mean that you have like the shittiest rune ever, right? You got this 6-star crit damage rune, and it has an HP sub that got powered up every single time, and it's now plus 1,300. That doesn't mean that now all of a sudden it's going to rotate into 13%. It can change into a percent rune and be 1% if you use a normal, regular grindstone on it, which kind of sucks. Let's see, am I missing anything? You will not be able to change your primary properties of the prefix. I think I mentioned that. So basically what that means is your slot 2 is speed, right? You can't change slot 2 into attack. It's a speed rune. It remains a speed rune. And then the prefix property is actually the second part of it. You still cannot alter that second part. So you know how you have your main stat, which would be speed. Then under it, you can get another stat which never ever gets powered up. It's not a sub. It's just a second stat. That can't be changed. That's what the prefix is. And then different, yeah, I mentioned that normal to legend. Each will be designated. Oh, so I did not cover this yet. Each will be designated with a specific rune and option at the moment of drop. Now, if I understand that correctly, that means you just killed your dragon, your three-headed Loch Ness monster, if you will. Now you get to select what kind of rune to get, what kind of gemstone to get. So you'll be able to select between Rage, Violent, and fucking Fatal. That's pretty cool, I think. A specific rune set at the option and option. So that's why I'm reading into it that way. They say a specific rune set and option. I could be wrong. Grindstones can be used to boost one of the four. So any of the four subs. All right, so let's look at the picture now. So these are your four subs. So I can tell you one thing right off the bat here. It's pretty cool. Oh, so that's a good way of articulating what you can do using the actual key terms here. Amplify would be taking that attack 5% and making it a greater value. And it looks like, you know what I'm noticing here? So green, blue, and red. So that's from normal to legendary. Well, that normal being the white one. It's going up in value, and I'm hoping that you can get, for example, an attack one that would be attack 5 to 10%. So, for example, that sub there on that energy rune, that attack percent is plus 5 on that sub. So if we look at that legendary rune that says HP plus 5 to 10%, imagine if it was anywhere between, if we could make that an attack rune. Instead of HP plus 5 to 10, it would be attack plus 5 to 10. So now that attack rune could be anywhere from 10 to 15%. That's a huge difference. That's like two freaking rolls on a power up. Like, that's substantial. So this is definitely going to be pretty ridiculous for the meta of the game, man. And also, what's going to be cool is now we're going to look at that HP flat on this rune, that HP plus 119, and we're going to flip over to the column that says convert, and all of a sudden we're going to make that HP crit rate percent. And then after deciding we're converting it to crit rate, we can select any of the strength of these runes, any of the level of them, and then alter it into anywhere from, look at this. So the lowest one is a minimum of 2% to a maximum of 10%. That's fucking awesome. Oh man, my Camilla's got 97% crit rate. I'm so easily going to make her 100% crit rate. It's awesome. Aha! I called it, did I not? I did guess, though, attack plus 5 to 15%. It looks like that's a 16. So I'm not quite sure the mathematics just yet. I was off by 1%, so there doesn't seem to be a defined limit yet. But look at that beauty right there. Like, you'll be able to take that flat and actually not just convert it, but you'll be able to convert it substantially. I mean, that's pretty epic. I just don't know how many people are going to have that much mana, though. I mean, that's, what? Is that 13 million? No, that's actually 1,358,000. All right, nah, I have that. Oh, no, I don't. I'm broke right now. With the additional amount of power up, the additional added value will not be transferred. Okay, only one sub property. Oh, so that kind of, I mean, they didn't say that this was going to be awesome, that you were going to be able to completely change your whole rune set, but you will only be able, so if I understand this correctly, you will only be able to alter one sub, but you'll be able to, I believe, indefinitely alter it. So what that means, out of all these subs, you will only be able to change one of them, but you'll be able to change that same one multiple times. My only question is, can't you change it, put it back, and then change another one? Like, is it permanent? I hope it's not permanent, because a lot of the new players are going to have to watch this video a million times if they can understand what I'm saying and really get it in their brains what the options are here, because it kind of defeats the purpose if you make a mistake here. What do you do then? Sell the rune and start from scratch? It's hard enough to get the runes, you know? All right, if you see the HP subway has been changed to attack, the other originals are no longer subject conversion. However, they can maybe convert into another sub. Aha, I was right. So when you change that one sub, you can only change that one sub. You're done now. There is no going back to changing the other ones. However, that one sub can be changed again. So they turned it into attack. You can now select these other options, the HP plus 60 to 285, or attack plus 2 to 5, HP plus 1 to 4. You can now change them into other subs. Now, this is pure speculation. This is theoretical 101, Einstein, if you will. MC equals, what is it? E equals MC squared. Anyway, Also, you will be able to see some unforeseen sub properties to appear when converting sub properties using gems. I have no idea what that means. Unforeseen sub properties. So I guess that means a certain relationships will create offspring. Mommy and daddy crit rate and crit damage now create attack. So I'm getting a call. Who is that? All right, he's gonna have to wait because I'm recording. So I believe that means that well, yeah, I already explained it. Certain relationships will have certain consequences. So crit rate plus crit damage equals something. I don't know. That's going to be really freaking cool. So I wonder then, oh, you see, that sucks though because it could be bad. Because imagine, right? You can only change one sub. So you have to change a sub in order for that relationship with another sub to happen to create that unforeseen property. So for example, you're changing HP flat to attack percent. Now all of a sudden you get a attack flat, right? So you have crit rate, crit damage, you change your HP to attack percent, you have speed, and now you get that bonus unforeseen property, which is now attack flat. You can't change the attack flat because you can only change one sub, and in this case, you've already changed HP to attack percent. So that kind of sucks, but I wonder if it will not mimic the original flat, or the original change. So if you're changing, in this case, HP flat, that might mean that that unforeseen property you're going to get cannot be an HP flat. Now, that would be cool if that's the case, because that would allow us to really anticipate and manipulate our power-ups in the direction we want to go. Because here we know we're not going to get crit rate, we're not going to get crit damage, we're not going to get speed, and we're not going to get attack percent because we already have them. Now we also know we're not going to get HP flat. So that can only mean we're going to get accuracy resistance or some kind of flat, you know, it could be an attack flat, you know, or something like, or a defense percent or defense flat. But now we know what we can't already get, which helps us, you know, in determining what direction we want to go, you know. Finally, the relationship between primary properties and sub-properties will be applied to conversion. You will not be able to use a conversion gem with HP percent on that room. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to explain that. We could guess that already. All right. Cool. So that is all of the content that's rolling out. I don't know that I've missed anything. Please feel free to ask me questions. Let's check the shop. I got nothing. Oh, I got that awesome blade rune earlier. I kind of want to check. And then I bought. Was it? I thought it was green. Here it is. Is this a crit damage 11? Accuracy. That's decent. All right, let's scroll up here. Let's just do 1 or 2 arena fights just so I can get Guardian back. And then we'll stop recording. Most people aren't going to want to see this recording at this point, but kind of want to show off a little bit, you know. This is a technique I do. I always like to scroll through everyone before deciding who I'm going to attack. You know, most arrogant players like to just assume they can beat anyone, so what they'll do is they'll just go through and start from the bottom of the list and just work their way up. Now, I'm not saying I can't do that. For the most part, I can because I have a wide variety of monsters, but I think it's smarter to know what options are available because you also know you can refresh when you want. So instead of having 10 options to choose from, you know with the refresh you have 20, but you never know who you're going to get on the other 20. So you should know all of your options, you know, especially when it comes to ranking. For those of you who don't know, Challenger 3s don't get attacked that much unless you have, what's it called? Unless you have like a troll defense. Conqueror and Guardian is all about defense. You are constantly getting attacked. I mean, for goodness sake, I've got a pretty scary defense, and in the last hour, I've been attacked 3 times. And my defense is, I think it's pretty good. I have a damage dealer in Camilla. I have a Chloe who has 30,000 HP, 247 speed, plus Chiwu speed buff, puts her around 270. So she's my shitty healer. Plus really good speed, 270. Then I have Bella, who's my defense breaker stripper. So he's my debuffer. And he's my healer. And then I have Chiwu, who blocks beneficial effects. And he's on Despair, so he's also my my crowd control. He's got pretty decent speed, no? So he's what was he at 175, I think? Why isn't this working? 176 with 30,000 HP, you know. And for the most part, man, I think my Belladion's on Violent with 170 speed or 160 speed, 160 speed, 30,000 HP. You know, so I mean, also decent defense subs. So yeah, I thought my defense was pretty epic, but evidently not. So that was just a quick thing. Now I wanted to fight that Velajul defense. Was it? No. I wanted to fight it because it reminded me of the guy I was fighting earlier, the Guildmaster Tiger Lucky. We kind of went back and forth for a bit. Tiger Lucky. No, you can't see it because I refreshed it so many times. That was the last one. And then he changed his defense. He had Darian, Velajul, Vero, and Chloe, and it was problematic defense because he had a lot of stripping, a lot of immunity, some damage, some crowd control, a little of everything. He didn't have a really big damage dealer, so the first person I targeted was Darian. But then as you saw there, he switched up to a speed team, and I didn't bother attacking back because I was pretty sure I was going to get outsped by that Bernard who had that Azaria buff. All right, let's go with this. So Chasun is going to heal. So I'm going to go for Darian first. I don't really need Chiwu. Actually, we're going to keep him to strip Velajul. I'm going to keep Chiwu. This arena offense I'm running right now works very well for me. It's a little of everything. The only reason I have not set it as my arena defense is, that was a mistake. Please don't tell me that Veramos is going to go in between. All right. Let's snipe Darian right off the bat. Okay. Velajul will be next. Okay. It's a good thing I didn't use that AoE debuff. I'm glad she did that. Let's open him up a little bit. Strip. I don't know why that happens sometimes. It's not going to help because, yeah. Let's heal him back up. My tour is pretty shitty. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. I'm not... Yeah, let's do that. See if that works. All right. That helped. Let's save that. Gonna go for the a setup here with... get my Galleon is faster. I don't know why his attack bar is replenishing faster than Tor's. Oh, because Tor was on the attack speed buff. Now I can snipe him again. All right. Heal up again. So, please excuse me if you hear me making sipping noises in the background. I'm watching a lot of YDCB lately, and I'm noticing YDCB loves drinking milk. it's pretty funny, but if you watch his videos, he loves having if my timer is right, he's gonna hit his super crush any turn. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so YDCB loves sipping milk, and it drives me crazy because he fucking is just always doing it. It drives me nuts, and I find it entertaining. So right now, I am definitely not drinking milk. I am drinking a Jack and Coke. Kind of just got home from work, and I'm just relaxing and taking it easy. Kind of had a former guildmate of mine, Oblivion6 is his name. We were chatting online earlier about what these Rune things were, and we had a conversation around my first uploads, which are what this is about. And so we thought it would be a good idea to get people's attention by using... Okay, this is beginning to get annoying now. Why won't he die? By getting people's attention with something that hasn't been done frequently. And that's why I went ahead and decided to record a half-an-hour video around this. Okay, this isn't good. Yeah, motherfucker. And then, okay. So this is still pretty doable. Probably because I was talking and not paying attention, and that tower is going to hit, yeah. So I thought it would be pretty cool to have a conversation with everyone around what the new content is going to unleash, because I don't know, there's just a lot of speculation and I haven't really seen anybody really discussing it. So I spent a lot of time reading it and researching it on Reddit and on the forums and the Come To Us forum, and really just going through it because I don't really want to leave things to speculation. I run a farming guild, and I like running my farming guild, and my whole purpose of my farming guild is because I want to share my knowledge with other people, make them into better players. And basically, if you want to be a really good player, you can be. And if you don't want to be, you don't have to be. That's what the farming guilds are about. You have the option to do whatever you want. There is no premise around, oh my god, you lost all three of your swords. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if you're a contributing player, then that's really all that you can ask for, you know? And I lost while I was attacking. Wow. That's pretty fucked up. All right. That's really annoying. Escher. Now, Orion will hit harmful effects, so he's going to strip someone. So now, if I nuke... Yeah, let's try it. You know, if I lose, so what? Same arena offense, all right? I'm going to actually go for Escher first, because if Orion strips all my buffs, my problem remains... Oh, he's an idiot for that. Yep, he's an idiot. Defense break, defense break. All right, it landed. Snipe. Wow, he did not... I can't believe it. He did not crit. Well, that's a problem. Yep, that's a problem. All right. All right, now he's dead. Decrease everyone's attack speed. Okay, got her revive out the way. So that should be pretty easy. Now I can kill him with just a basic attack. Okay. We're gonna go for next. Let's get Bella out the way. Let's get the healer out of the way. Let's decrease the attack bar by 30%, and then Tor should go. And now he should be dead. Yeah, alright. Galleon is a game changer, man. Now, I know it's kind of unfair because I'm running a team here that is nowhere near farmable, very difficult to obtain. But if you get them, man, they're game changing, you know? Yeah, let's avoid any more damage to Chiwu. Although, I wouldn't complain if I got a Galleon, though. Not a Galleon. Whoops. Orion. You know? That would be pretty cool. So I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect to beat this team. Orion is a monster on arena defenses. He's really a problem player. Oh, Jubel. So I need a crit rate buff for him. Oh, that's not really a speed team. I could probably outspeed them. Chiwu. Ah, that'd be interesting. I hate Theomars. My Theomars is not a Guardian level Theomars. It's probably barely Conqueror. I think how am I running my Theomars? Let's see what his stats are. 16,000 HP, 131 speed, 1486 attack. I think he's got 67 crit rate and 161 crit damage. Runes are not maxed, of course, but let's scroll to the bottom and see who's here. But still, man, it's kind of depressing, you know. Oh, was that was actually? Yeah, it's pretty doable. Ah, Camilla is just gonna wreak havoc on my Chiwu, though. And then, if that Kumar is stacked too high, I won't be able to one-shot him. I fought a Kumar with 50,000 HP yesterday. I ended up beating him, but it was very unnerving to see my Tor land 49,000 on Squall, and then the Kumar still survived. I was pissed. I was definitely pretty pissed. Oh no, because I'm running water. Why don't we try, instead of Galleon... No, you know what? Let's do... Rika. No. Nah, you know what? No, wait, no, we didn't look at everyone. Oh wait, wasn't that the same guy? Actually, you know what? I was complaining about Theomar, so let's run it. Let's see if we can snipe Theomars. It really comes down to Chloe. If Chloe lands Fnatic, then I can't block. Because then I have to strip everyone. Okay, I might get lucky. Let's see if I can block his passive. Yes, I did. And if I land defense break, that's it. He's sniped. Passive is not activated, so he's dead. And that's it. The match is, the game's over now. There is no comeback for that. It's kind of unfortunate, but there's nothing really you can do there. Wow. That's ironic. I'm not complaining, of course, but okay, he procced out of everything. That's annoying as shit. Yeah, it's gonna be a mistake because she's gonna Chasten's gonna heal him. Yep. Okay, that's good. Oh, he's gonna get his turn before Tor does. Oh, yes, here we go. This might do... Oh, he didn't crit. It's crazy, because, you know, I do have 30% crit on Galleon. I mean, not 30%, 70% on Tor. Okay, let's just do that. Now he should be dead. There we go. Decrease attack bar. Now let's let Tor go. Alright. And now we can auto the rest. This has been a pretty effective arena offense. It definitely has been. It's not very situational. It's actually pretty general. I've got some immunity, some very basic immunity, you know, in the form of Chloe. Unfortunately, we're talking basic because it only lasts 2 turns. But most importantly, actually, my favorite aspect of this... now I should be Guardian. Alright, now I'm Guardian again. Did I win a defense? No. Alright, made Guardian again. Now, I kind of just wanted my purple star back, but we're going to go ahead and end the video momentarily. Now, I wanted to give some advice while I have you guys' attention. One of the biggest piece of advices I can give in the game, if anybody is willing to listen, is actually around what monster? Who would I say? I would say probably Darien. I would probably say Darien, if not any of these 3 monsters you see me clicking here. Darien is ridiculous, okay? He is considered an S-rated monster on offense and defense. Now, what makes him a problem is that, first of all, you know his first skill scales on HP, right? So when you have a 30k HP Darien, excuse me, a 30k HP Darien, when he hits you and lands defense break, he's probably hitting you for what, 3 or 5k. Not that bad, I mean, on a regular attack. But when he hits you the second time, when he's already landed his defense break, he's hitting you at minimum 8k. Like, at minimum. If you have no buffs, nothing at all, and he's not buffed, at minimum. And so Darien is actually not just a defense and armor breaker. He's actually now a damage dealer. And that's a really awesome monster to have. And he brings a lot of utility because... not only does he break your defense, not only does he limit the amount of damage everyone receives by 15%, he also decreases your attack power, essentially cutting it in half. So he's doubling his attack power by cutting your defense in half, because you know on defense break you generally receive 50% more damage. So an attack 100% more damage, which is twice as strong. So you know, if he's hitting you 3,000 normal, now he's hitting you 6,000. But now he's cutting your attack power in half. So the damage you deal is now cut in half. Plus, he's limiting your damage that you receive, that you contribute to everyone else by an extra, 15%. So that's pretty awesome. That's definitely pretty awesome. I think it's also at 100%. Yeah, it scales on 100%. So he just needs base accuracy, which mine definitely needs some better at. But I don't know, I kind of wanted to bring that up because I think it's really cool. I think he's definitely a monster that you see here and there, but he's not really talked about or hyped as much as he should be. And that's not really helpful to the other players in the game when people are always talking about the same monsters. Like everybody's got something to say about Theomars, and it's not helpful to always say the same thing about Theomars. Like, guys, we know Theomars is OP. We know that Theomars is a monster. We know that it's pretty cool to have a guy who's immune to death for a turn and who, no matter what, is always going to hit you hard. But the fact of the matter is, I have never really met like an OP Theomars, like a game-changing one. Like Theomars altogether is game-changing. Yes, he's hard to kill at times and he deals a lot of damage, but I would say Perna whoops his ass day after day. And I say that because what makes Perna a freaking god is that not just the revive, but it's that second skill. I think that second skill scales on HP more than any skill I've ever seen that scales on HP. Because if I remember correctly, I've seen her hit a Chasen for 30,000, which of course also comes down to the multipliers. But so compress energy of fire, inflicting damage on enemy. The more HP, the larger the damage becomes. So that's probably why. So if you have a lot of HP, it's gonna hit hard, and if you don't, it's not. But the reason that I say Theomars isn't really typically all that is actually because of his second skill, which multiplies off defense break. Now, a lot of people, it's very hard to ruin him because you're either building him complete DD, so attack, crit damage, or the more typical build is speed, attack, crit damage. And so the problem with that is so when you're struggling to get crit rate, crit damage, speed, and attack percent subs, that's hard enough to do, right? But now when you factor in that you need accuracy subs to land those dots on skill 1 and then to land the defense break because it gets 70%, but then you need the accuracy to land it so it's not resisted, it's just too hard, right? It's just ridiculous. Like I've never seen a 150 to 170 speed Theomars with 2,000 attack with 175 crit damage and then 50% accuracy. And that's ideally how you would want. Like I guess my dream Theomars would be, I don't know, 20k HP, 150 to 170 speed, 2,000 attack, 175 crit damage, or 200 actually would be my dream, and then like 50% accuracy. I don't know, maybe they're out there. If there are, please comment and let me know. All right, so this is my second video. I'm gonna end it now. So guys, it's been fun. If you have any questions, let me know. Well, let's just clear that. All right, thanks guys. Bye.